Yeah, hello, welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. And if you are new to this channel, I wish you subscribe to my channel to support me grow my YouTube. And today, what do we have? Okay, so we have in variables, let's say JavaScript variables, right? So let's say I have a first name, let's say var. Okay, that's the old way we used to do variable declaration, like first name is equal to Obed. Let's say Obed, right? And I want to log this first name, right, using a console log. Now I'm able to print out Obed because this variable is available inside inside the global scope of my JavaScript file, which is the main.js. So it's available everywhere. Every file can access this first name, and it's cool. Okay, every file can access this first name. That's cool. Now what if I want to declare the same variable and give it and assign it to another different name? Let's see if it's going to be possible, right? Okay, var first name is equal to Yankee. All right. Okay. Oh my god, so you can see that the first one I declared has been overwritten, okay, by the second one. Do you notice something? Now if you are doing this, you might get your JavaScript code very wrongly, and you must end up with a lot of bugs, and which is not recommended. Okay, it's a very bad practice to be doing this. And if you are doing it using var to declare, and if you are using var to declare variables with the same name, it's not going to give you any error that, hey, you are doing this and this is not good. You are assigning a different value to the same variable, or you are declaring another variable, which is very bad. So how do we solve this? You can solve it using const or let. Okay, so now what let will help you do is to prevent you from redeclaring the same variable, right? So let's try that and see. Let, oh my god, I get this error, right? I'm using a live server, so it refreshes anytime I save. Okay, so they said uncaught syntax error, identifier first name has been declared. Oh my god, so it means that if you are using let, you are safe, and everything that you are doing, you are making sure that you are preventing your code from bugs, and to be of a good practice to be doing so using the let always, so that you prevent this kind of errors that you do. Let's say you're having multiple variables with the same name, or likely to be that. So this is going to help you prevent such error, which might break your code. All right, and also this kind of logical error, it's also going to help you with that. Okay, so what do I want to do next? So see, now let is available globally, right? So let's say, what if I want to scoop it into a block of code, right? I want to make sure that let is scooped into a particular kind of block code, okay, a block syntax. So let's give it an example. Let me delete everything and let's see what I'm talking about. All right, okay, so let's say I have a variable called array, right? So I have an array, right? I'll just name it array, and I have values of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Yeah, let me add my 9, right? Now if I console log array, well, I'm going to get my array, right? If I do dot length, right, okay, so I'm going to get my length perfectly, right? So what if I want to look through this array? Oh, I is equal to 1, and I is less than array, the length of the array, right? and also I want to increment I by 1. Okay, so something of looping through it, right? So targeting I. Good. Now you can see I've been able to loop through all the values in the array. So now you see that I declared a variable called I, but I didn't use var or let or anything else. So it means that this I is available globally everywhere. Okay, so this is it. This is the point here. So now if I console log I, I'll get a value of I. Right. Okay, so let me comment this and you see. Now I'm getting 9. So it means I'm getting the last value of the I, which is not so, which is not supposed to be so. It is very, very bad. Okay. So how do I prevent this? Okay. So even if I declare it var, it is not still scoped to that particular block, right? So what you have to do is you declare it using the let, right? You declare using the let, and you see there is an error. It means that I is not defined. So it means you cannot get access to this I in this particular block of code, which means you are scoping it, like you are attaching it to the block that no other function or no other syntax can get access to this kind of variable. You get me? So that's how let is going to scoop everything inside a block for you. All right, so let's talk about using const in your variable. Right, so const is let's say a shortcut for constant. So constant means that you cannot let's say have that same variable already declared anymore, and you can't even reassign it. Okay, like let me give you an example here. Let's say I have a variable with let, right? So let array. Okay, let array equals to 1 2 3 4 5 6. Right, now let me console log array. Now my array. Okay, good. So if I console log this array, I get 1 up to 6. That's great, right? All right, so let me reassign array. Okay, so it means that with the let, I'm able to reassign this array, and it will work perfectly. Okay, it is going to work perfectly as it's supposed to work. So let me console log this array. You see these two consoles being printed out. First, we have our initial one, which was not muted, like which was not changed, and we have the second one, which was actually changed. And what if you want to prevent this from changing it? Okay, you want it to be constant. Nobody is supposed to change this kind of variable. So let's say I declare this let using const. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh my god, they said assignment to constant variable. Okay, so type error, meaning assignment to constant variable. It means that you cannot reassign a variable using const as to declare it, right? So anytime you are declaring a variable with const, it cannot redeclare because it's a constant figure. Okay, but there is something here that can do only with it. So the const, let's say the const prevention of reassigning cannot extend in a way that you cannot change the values in the array. You can change the values in the array. Let's say I want to target the first value, which is 1. Okay, so this one, which is 0, like array are form of like they are being grouped in index. So we have the 0. So I want to change it to 900. Now I'm able to do that because const does not apply to here, because it's possible for you to actually change or assign the indexes, okay, of the array, and which is cool. and which is really cool. So talking about const and let, okay, const and let helps you to, like I said, prevent you from redeclaring the same variable with the same name. Okay, so const also, okay, apply the same idea to, let's say, the same principle to object. Let's say I have the name called Obed, right? The object called and the contact of 0009, right? So now what happens here when I console log this object? Okay, so I'm able to get my values good, but one thing with the const is I cannot reassign it to anything. You cannot even reassign it to an empty object. It will not work. So assignment to constant variable is not possible. Okay, so that's what you have to know here. Okay, that's what you have to know here. So guys, there's my little tutorial on const and let. Hope you find it very useful. But to conclude, use const and let for scoping of your variables. Okay, let's say I have function, let's call me, right? Call me. So just let call me equals me, right? So I can console log call me anytime I call this function. Okay, me, that's fine. So it means that I can't really declare it anymore. I can't really declare call me to, let's say, hey. Yeah, that's really not possible, but I can reassign it. So it changes to what? Hey. But if I use const here, an error is going to throw here. You get me? Yes. So that's how const and let work, by replacing const with vars and those kind of things. You are going to prevent yourself from a lot of bugs, and to also help you scope everything to a particular function. Okay, and which is really good. Like I said, in the array, in the loop, okay, you cannot get a variables in the loop, which is not possible. It's not possible. So let me give you another example of that in the loop. So let's say I have a function called loop me. Okay, so let's say let the array of whatever I want to loop. Let's say I have this one. I'll have strings, and I'll have, let's say, 90, and I'll have like 100, 300. Right. So I can loop this array. Okay, I'm using the let, right? So for, let's see, let me declare it using var, right? Let me declare using var I equals 0. Okay. I is always less than this array length, okay, the length of the array, and I want to increment I plus 1. Okay, so let's say I want to get the particular value in the array. So let's so var, okay, var element, okay, the element in the array should be called array.I, right? So with this one, I can be able to what? Log my array, or the values in the array, and whenever I call loop me. So loop me is going to loop all the values, okay? But one thing too is here is that you can access elements. So let's say console.log elements. Good. So I'm able to get access to element, which is 200. I mean the last one. Okay, it loops through and it stores that particular variable. It reassign it to 200. Okay, which is not a good idea. this can cause an error in your function or a logical error, right? So to prevent that, you need to scoop everything into this particular block. Okay, so let's say I do so I can even access I. So look at something here. I'm even accessing I, which is I4, so it counts 1 2 3 4. Okay, I'm even able to access I, which is not good. So what do I do next? So what I can do here is to solve this and replace the var with let. Now when I console log I, right, now I'm not able to get access to I because I is being scoped to this particular function. It means it has been hidden, or it has been covered for only this particular function to work with it. No one is supposed to work with it. Okay, so let's come to the elements side. So the elements, I want to access it and see. Okay, so that one too, with the let, I'm not able to get access to it, and which is really very cool. And this is a cool way of declaring variables, and which is good, prevents you a lot from bugs. Yeah, so guys, so if you found this tutorial very useful, kindly like, and if you are new to, kindly subscribe, and let me see you in the next video. Thank you.